Because of a recent cold snap and just working on a lot of other projects, I haven't been grafting for the last couple weeks. But yesterday I went past this tree. It's an easy one to notice because it's right next to the driveway, and noticed that there was some of the scions that I was preparing that really needed to be grafted that day. There's 3 up here that can wait probably a week or so, but there are others that those buds were just perfect on. So I came out and grafted those 3 onto these different areas. Not this one, but there's different places on this tree that I wanted the ST Maui to start. And so I got that done, and of course once I'm in the process of grafting, I just look for a few other things to do at the same time. So that got me to other areas of the grove. I had a couple scions of scion, which is a new variety for us, and I wanted to put them on some bigger plants. So here's one of those. I used a Walter style graft, and wanted to get some fairly young wood that was a little larger in diameter than the scion. So there's one of those grafts, and this is another one. Now, after I put this on, I cut back the top of the branch, because both of these branches here that I used were similar to this, just a sort of a lanky, sprawly thing. And you don't want a lateral branch like this, because when it does get fruit, it will just drag that right to the ground. So anyway, I'll use this opportunity to cut this one back, even though I'm not grafting onto it at the moment. But while I was here looking for appropriate things to graft onto, I noticed something really interesting, and that's right back here. Right here is a graft that I did, and fortunately I dated it. This is guava mango, and I did this in April. And the really interesting thing to me is, this branch was not that large when I grafted onto it, and look at the base. This part that attached to the branch grew. And right now that's more than an inch wide, and this is approximately the diameter of the scion when I put it on this tree. It might have gotten slightly wider, but it was when it was grafted. Of course, this part was the same diameter as this part of the scion, the upper part. So anyway, the good news is it's still green. And the appropriate thing to do right now is to cut this main branch off of the seedling, so that all the energy in this part of the tree can go to growing this scion. So I'm going to cut this branch in 2 stages. The first stage is to take the weight off of the branch. It's really risky to do one cut, because you want that cut to be very precise, and it's easier to be precise when you get the weight off of the branch. So that's going to be step 1. Sorry, Zadie. Okay, so now I want to cut at a slight angle here, and of course end up above where the scion is. Okay, so that's pretty much set for now. I'll cut this other branch back while I'm here. Don't need to have it growing over the fence. And of course this one has already been grafted. And so plenty of foliage to keep this active. And I'll have to try to remember to come back and check on this. One other thing to do, which was so nice that I took some time to do this before, is to mark this graft. You want to make sure that you remember, or you give yourself a reminder of what variety you put on that. So it's guava, and I'm just going to put that 419 on again to remind myself of when I originally put that graft on. Now, I thought this was like the only forgotten graft up here, and I was wrong. Managed to ignore another one, and it's right over here, so let's take a look at that. So here's that tree, and this was a failed graft here, but looking down further is this graft, and again another Walter style graft, and also one that has the base of that has grown a lot with the as this seedling grew, but the top of course is doing better than that last one, but it's really not a major part of the tree yet. So same strategy here is cut the top of the tree off, top of what we don't want, the seedling, and got a vine growing on that. Okay, and then let's make the final cut here. Got to get at a good angle for my right-handedness. This particular graft, I didn't mark what variety it is, but I have a pineapple pleasure right next to it, and so I'm guessing that's what it is. But look at how this is sort of sprawling. It's not the ideal growth habit for this plant, so what I'm going to do is cut off the youngest growth flush here, and because I strongly suspect that it's pineapple pleasure, I'm going to prepare the next growth flush, the next youngest. I'll come back and graft with these scions, and basically I want to do that again after I use these scions. I want to make about a 12 to 14 inch shoot before it starts branching. This one, since it's a little more lateral, I might take it a little bit closer to what's going to be the center of the tree. But anyway, this is going to end up being a nice tree. It just needs to have a little bit of work still. So this is the pineapple pleasure that I didn't forget. Two grafts here and one there, and so this is well on its way to being a nice tree. Hopefully we'll get fruit from it this coming season. But this area, just west of the fence, I'm converting to all grafted trees, and there's a lot of small seedling trees in this area, And long term, this is going to be a very productive corridor, trying to get the production and the trees to be away from the fence, and be eventually, hopefully, about 8 to 10 foot trees. The old Haydens that are up here, they're probably 80 years old. There's a lot of rot and they're way too close to the fence. So long term, and I'm talking like 10 years down the road possibly, we will have these small trees growing up and being productive, and the larger trees either being very small or completely gone.